We've been able to bring a lot of applications into the classroom. I research different applications. I look on different sites. We get information from people from ISTE and Verizon on different applications and different web tools to use. And this year we've really been able to place these applications and technology in our classroom in such a way that we're able to create different content, and we're able to engage the students, and we're able to assess the students in a way that we never really were before, and the students are so excited. The learning that's taking place is at another level. It's not just memorizing and knowing facts any longer, but it's really understanding and getting a deeper understanding of content, and doing it in such a fun way that kids are actually motivated to come in and learn and use the different tools presented to them.
Personally, for me, the mobile technology and bringing in the cell phones and the iPads and things like that, it has really done a nice job of getting students to be more interested in what it is that we're doing. For a long time, the cell phone was just, no, you're not allowed to use it in class. So now it has that wow factor of, oh my God, Ms. Tobin's going to let us use this in class? What's going on here? And the newness of it really gets them hooked in, and it just makes the class more dynamic and more interesting, I think, for students and for me.
It's made me a better teacher because it really has brought a great deal of excitement, not only to my students but also to me. This is a second career for me. I was not a high school teacher initially. My background is I'm a registered dietitian, but I've been a high school teacher now for 12 years, and after teaching content over a certain amount of time, you kind of look for ways to grow as a person, as a teacher, as an educator.
I think it's made me a better teacher because I've expanded my lesson plans. Project that I used to do to review for a test, now we make a video on an iPad where it could be a boring subject, and now we've made that interesting. We've taken something that's been humdrum and boring, and we've made it exciting and fun. So.
I've used the cell phones to do sites like Poll Everywhere, just to use as formative assessments and get an idea of where do my classes stand on this topic or that. I've used it in the beginning of class as an entrance ticket. I've used it at the end of class on their way out, so I get some feedback on what we've done that day. I've also used the iPads with a variety of apps, from cells to educreations to DNA, just to reinforce what we've learned and actually have kids make an educations video to show what they've learned as an alternate assessment.
In the beginning, it was difficult to find some applications, content-related applications that could be used in the classroom. But specifically what I've used this year, I've used the nuclear application, Educreation, to basically have the students make a presentation on an element. They had to design an element ad. They were broken down into groups, and then they were put together with a partner that shared an element in a specific group, and they made a presentation on that. We've used the Element application. We've also used Quizlet as an application to basically review some concepts. In Do Now activities, students come in and they, you can create note cards where they can review certain material just to start off the class to get them interested in learning.
I think it's increased collaboration a lot. We talk to teachers that you might not normally see or teach the same subjects, but we're able to ask them, how did you use Quizlet in your class? How did you assess that assignment? What were some problems that you had when you first showed the students how to use that? What were the things that they were hung up on? And so by talking to each other or even emailing each other how they've used an app, we're able to open those lines of communication and keep them open.
Collaboration in the department was okay before we started using these mobile technologies, but now when we meet every week, there's a lot of energy in the room. There's a lot of enthusiasm. Everybody's excited to say, this is the lesson that I tried for this topic. It went really well, or it didn't go well, or here's a list of apps that I've been looking at and I've been using. I think they're really good. So overall, collaboration within the science departments is really gone through the roof compared to years past, where it was, happening, but certainly nowhere near the level it does now.
Mobile technology in the classroom has made it more fun and interesting and easier to learn.
I think that with the technology, we get to experience something new. Not something we do in every single one of our classes all day long. So when we get to the class, we're a little bit more excited because it's not the same thing.
I like how if I'm stuck on something, I can just like research it on the web right there on the same like device, and I don't have to like raise my hand and ask like a question.
My favorite one would be using the iPad with the app Educreations, because you can actually create like a whole lesson plan, but you can actually see what like you're pointing to and talk about and like draw a diagram instead of just like reading a textbook versus like just seeing it.
I'd probably say the iPad, because we use Quizlet in chemistry, and it helps us study using note cards and makes interactive games with it so we can learn and also have fun with it.
Kids are actually motivated to come in and learn and use the different tools presented to them. One of the tools we're using today is Biograph. That's part of a program put together by MIT. You can see the kids in the back using it. There's a program where they use sort of gaming models or simulations, 3D type of simulations, where they're able to learn the content in biology using these different models, these complex system models. And they can manipulate and make different changes and look at the outcomes very, very quickly. Things that would take very long to see in a lab or naturally in nature, they can see very quickly by making changes on the computer and looking at outcomes. It's very exciting, and the kids really enjoy that and seem to really understand what they're learning.
So Biograph is an NSF-funded program to teach biology to high school students and to help them learn it through something called complex systems thinking and using computer models and simulations of biological systems. And Ms. Forhan is one of 10 teachers involved in this project, and we're really excited to be working with you guys because she's really super with technology, and the lessons are built around these computer simulations and worksheets, and they're built based on the standards that the teachers are already using for MCAS and to teach science in the classroom.
We presented a lot of new tools this year, but the kids were instrumental in probably teaching me as much as I'm teaching them about some of these tools. We've been using the Google applications here at the school. Everyone is on Google. They have a Google account, a Google education account, and we've been using that for a number of different things. Just today I had them create QR codes, learn how to do that using different content. What the kids will do is they'll group up and be given a certain amount of content, and they'll have to use Google Docs to create a document and come up with a URL, either through Google Docs or Google Presentation or Google Sites, and then they'll copy that URL with the content that they put in it, and they'll create a QR code. And what we're going to do, I spoke with a librarian today, and what she wants to do is actually hang up the QR codes around the library. So when people come into the library, they can use their smartphone and just go on and access the code with the QR reader app on their smartphone, and then they'll be able to pull the content right up on their phone and actually learn about what a student did or a piece of content that was created by a group of students. So it's really exciting.